one of ESPN's top NBA voices, joins us here momentarily as we dive into this roller coaster. And she's nice enough to get on this coaster with us. The day starts with Draymond declines. Then it's going to be LeBron and AD. Now Kristaps is back, and we're all forced to go read some sort of, apron CBA novel to figure out if it's even possible for any of this stuff to happen anymore. And that's why we bring on the experts. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN, River Islands guest line. Hello, friend. How are you?
Good. Do you need me to just give you a clean, that's a great question? You can do that for your montage?
That'd be great. That'd be great. Here, tell you what, let's have some fun with it. Let me ask you a question, and then you can do that. So recently, It came to my attention that you were the answer in a New York Times crossword puzzle. How did that make you feel?
Oh, I thought you were going to give me a tee-up where I could say, that's a great question.
That was a great question. You could have said it right there. How did it make you feel?
Well, that makes me, I thought you were going to say, how did that happen? Okay, wait, let's start over.
So what you're saying is this was a crappy question. That's not, this totally backfired on me.
I'll move the handoff.
I know. How did it make me feel? Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
How did it happen? How did it happen?
I don't know. That is a great question because I don't know.
Okay.
Somebody just thought I was worthy.
They don't have to call you and check with your agent or get you to sign a release or anything like that.
Apparently, I am of free use. Fair use, right? That's if you're a public figure, it's fair use or something, or they don't have to say anything.
Man,
my first name is 6 letters. I guess they are good 6 letters for that spot at 46 pounds. I just thought it was pretty cool.
I knew you when. Man, Ramona, I knew you when.
I mean, my brother sent it to me because I guess they put it online at 9 o'clock the night before. The online puzzle goes up, Eastern time, midnight. And so all of it, my brother's really into trivia and Jeopardy and all those. He was on Jeopardy and he lost to James Holzhauser.
Oh, wow.
And so all the trivia people and all the people who do the CrossFit puzzle every night, they saw it right away. So I got a bunch of messages from actually a lot of my Stanford friends still do the puzzle. I got a bunch of my old Stanford classmates or people I lived in my freshman dorm were texting me.
I bet. Ramona is smart.
Kind of a demo, right?
Yeah, a little bit. All right. There's Warrior fans dying right now because they're like, okay, can we figure out if LeBron and Anthony Davis are going to be on the team? So before we even get to the whole Kristaps part of this and how it affects it, I would just love to get your response to how realistic this idea has even been at any point over the last 24 to 48 hours, LeBron and AD and the Warriors.
Okay. I would say that all of this is sequencing, and I think it would have been a lot easier to pull off if this had stayed private, if this hadn't become public last night.
Huh.
It reminds me a lot of the Clippers when they pulled off Kawhi as a free agent and Paul George as a trade, or that was bang, bang, right? And all we ever heard about was Kawhi, and then Paul George, we didn't even really know he was available or part of all that, and it was simultaneous. And that's Sam Presti being very good at how he does business, and the Clippers being really good about keeping that in-house. Not to say that this means it's not going to happen. It's just, I've always thought the Anthony Davis part of it was very difficult and also, frankly, maybe not that necessary. If LeBron wants to come, I'm sure he would love to play with Anthony Davis again. They won a title together. They're very close. He would certainly fit, and they won a gold medal together too. Let's remember that. But he doesn't have to get AD, right? They could just sign LeBron as a free agent. But from what I have been told, LeBron's not telling anyone anything yet. Maybe he's telling Draymond Green something. That's the only guy allowed to really talk to LeBron and get information out. You could talk to your friends. But in terms of what he's told the Lakers, he hasn't even really met with the Lakers. He's only communicated via his agent, Rich Paul, who has told the Lakers, I'm not even sure if LeBron's going to play next year. There's a certain amount of stalling going on from LeBron, which is stalling to create other opportunities, but also leverage. So I think the question is LeBron and Anthony Davis, is that really a package deal? Like, they need to trade for AD in order to get LeBron to come there? Or would he come on his own and then trust that they would get somebody like an AD or just come on his own to begin with? That's what we're all kind of trying to sort through right now, because I don't think there's been any substantive contact between the Warriors and the Wizards yet.
So, Ramona, what are the chances then? You mentioned Rich Paul, Clutch Sports. It's of course, it's public knowledge that he has LeBron, he has Anthony Davis, he also has Draymond Green. Specifically, when it comes to LeBron, what are the chances that this is a leverage play and a way for perhaps LeBron to squeeze a better offer out of the Lakers to make them think maybe the Warriors is realistic? Is that possible?
I think everything's possible. I don't even think there's any question this is a leverage play, right? The only question is, what does it end up in, and what's the main goal? Is the main goal to get everyone paid? In which case, maybe it doesn't matter if Anthony Davis gets paid in Washington or Golden State. Is the main goal to get LeBron as much money as possible? That's not what I've heard. I've heard this really might not actually be about the money for LeBron. This is really about where he wants to play going forward, who he wants to play with. But just a lot that has to happen. And the first domino fell this morning with Draymond declining his player option. Now, I don't think anyone should read that much into it. What Draymond did was be a good company man, because he's got a decade plus of trust built up with the organization to know that they're going to take care of him. They're not going to leave him out in the cold after he declined his player option. He's just giving them optionality to go do other deals or to try to make something happen. And I think that's really all Draymond did, which is that we know of. Okay, I'm sure he's going to do his podcast tomorrow and tell us all this other stuff. But, this is going to be an interesting, let's see, it's not quite 20, it's a little more than 24 hours, because theoretically LeBron is not allowed to talk to anyone but the Lakers until 6 p.m. tomorrow, LA time or San Francisco time.
Ramona Shelburne, ESPN, with us here on 95.7 The Game. All right, Ramona, even if LeBron hasn't spoken to the Lakers yet, even if they haven't said for sure that he's going to play next year, let's go back in time a little bit with these little tidbits we hear about the relationship between the Lakers and LeBron. Where is that to your knowledge, and would it potentially be strained enough to cause him to leave?
I don't know if it matters. I don't think if it's about strain or whatever. I think if you're LeBron, you feel maybe a little slighted, like they set this up. They let me be an unrestricted free agent. They didn't offer me any new extension. They asked me to take a lesser role this year. I did that. Did that really well. And then when they needed him to step up and carry the team in the playoffs, he did. So I think, the Lakers made a choice last offseason, and they made a choice. I mean, I don't think he would ever fault them for doing the Luka Doncic trade. But it's pretty clear they're building the team around Luka going forward, and they were just kind of letting LeBron stick around as long as he wanted to. But the first time in his career he's ever not been the number one priority, and I'm sure that doesn't feel good. So if he's just making them squirm a little bit, okay, I can certainly see why he would do that. But I want to reiterate, he has not even told them he's coming back to play next year. He's posting all sorts of videos on his Instagram of golf and things like that. But he hasn't even done that, which they've been allowed to talk to him for a week. Austin Reeves has had meetings with them and signed a contract with them. Their own free agents can talk to them. So, this is a choice not to make yourself available for those conversations, or even to say, well, what number were you thinking? Like, they haven't even gotten to that. They haven't been allowed to get to that.
Ramona, let's just say an Anthony Davis trade does end up happening. Obviously, Jimmy Butler would make the money work, but what do you think it would take in terms of assets, whether it's, the 11th pick, Yaxel Lendeborg, and another draft pick? Is it 2 future draft picks? Do you have any sense of what Washington would require to part with Anthony Davis?
I don't think there's any chance anyone is getting Yaxel. The Warriors love him. They had him rated top 5 in the draft. They were thrilled he fell to them. The only reason they think he fell to them is just because he's older. And a lot of GMs don't like to draft older players, but they're thrilled he fell to them. So I would say he's fairly untouchable. But they have up to 3 first-round draft picks they can include. I don't think they would want to put that much in there because Anthony Davis makes $60-something million a year. But let's talk about Washington, though, and who has the leverage. Washington traded for Anthony Davis because they wanted him on their team. They want to put him next to Alex Sarr. They want to play him with Trae Young. They want to be good this year. And he has 2 years left on his contract. He has this year and then a player option for next year. So they really don't have to do an extension right now. So Anthony Davis has some leverage with Washington. Washington has a lot of leverage with the Warriors. The Warriors have leverage in that they could just not do anything. And they don't have to do anything if LeBron gives them a commitment. But if LeBron's commitment is conditional on them getting AD, then that really changes things. And I think if a deal materializes, I would see, the question is going to be, is there 1 draft pick in there, 2? I can't see there be 3. So what does that look like? And I don't even think we're close to that. Like I said, I don't believe there has been any substantive conversations between the Warriors and the Wizards yet.
Ramona, this definitely leads to some sort of 2-year deal for Draymond Green. Is that correct?
Why do you say 2?
Well, because he's giving up a very good player number for 1. And I'm also looking at all of the 2-year deals they're handing out, Kristaps, Al Horford, and we assume a 1-year extension for Steph Curry as well.
I put up everybody on that same timeline. Okay, sure. I'll go with that. You think Steph's really just going to do 1 year? He can do more than that, I think. I don't know. I don't think the Draymond thing has. I don't think anyone's worried about that part of it. I think it's gonna. There's enough trust that's been built up there that everybody's fine.
Okay.
Like it'll be what it's going to be. He was certainly comfortable declining his option, knowing that they're going to take care of him in some form or fashion on the back end.
Okay, and then the other side to that, as far as current players, they have certainly put out not just signals. They put them up there at a huge press conference last week. They have said to Jimmy Butler's agent that they're very much so. Their intention is that they're sticking with him. Is there any way that would change and they would include him in a trade?
I really believe that their plan is to stick with Jimmy Butler, and the only way they trade him is for a player like Anthony Davis. But there's like 5 steps before they even get to a conversation about it. Right? Like, I don't think anybody's lying. I just think nothing has happened yet. Okay? I know we're speaking in a lot of conditionals, but until you get down to it, I don't think it's fair to Jimmy. And I think Jimmy, in the conversation he had with Anthony Slater, I don't know if you read those quotes in Slater's article today. He went to Jimmy Butler's promotional appearance with Iran, which is the New Jersey sponsor. Jimmy said that's what he's been told. That's what he feels comfortable with. He would understand if it was for somebody. I forget exactly how he said it, but you can refer to Slater's quotes there from Jimmy. I think they're fine on the Jimmy Butler front. They're certainly not dangling him in trades. I really think it's just we all put the dots together. If they were to do something like AD, what salary would have to be included, and that's the only one that's big enough. But I still think the AD piece of this one is shaky, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. And the only question is he really a package deal with LeBron? That's my big question right now.
Ramona, let's just pretend for a second that for whatever reason LeBron returns to the Lakers and the Warriors creating some space with the Draymond opt-out, at least in the immediate term, still have access to their full $15 million mid-level exception. Is there anybody else out there you think they'd be interested in giving that contract to, or is it essentially LeBron or nothing in their mind, do you think?
Let me think about that. Sorry. I have to think about all these permutations. What do they need? Clearly they need front court help. They have to deal with Quentin Post. He's a restricted free agent. They would like to get another wing player. Kind of been missing that, and two of their wings are hurt. So, I can't name you someone off the top of my head, but I think if they don't get LeBron or AD, and it's really just kind of running back what they have, I think they do want to bring Quentin Post back, and then you want to look at the available centers and wing players and probably pick from somewhere in there.
I mean, these are smaller names, but let me throw them out there because we've heard them.
Yes.
Anthony Simons, Colin Sexton. Do you see them using part or all of their exception on those players?
I'm just trying to. I guess they'll need some offense until Jimmy and Moody get back, right?
Yep.
So, sure. Okay. Those two, if you've heard those names, that'll make. I haven't gone down that far. Okay, we're sort of concerned with like the top level guys here, but I guess they'll need some offense, right? Those Moses and Jimmy are not supposed to be back until February, so they need a little punch.
Yeah.